All right, everybody, welcome back to Pat Stacks. All right, NBA edition. We're talking about the NBA. You know who drives this shit when it comes to NBA? That's Jacob. It's only me and Jacob today, but you know what? This is gonna be the best episode ever. All right, Jacob, you take it away.
Like Tyler said, we got the skeleton crew tonight. We're still bringing you guys some content. We're just gonna get right into it. We got a top 10 coming up. There's just two of us. So Tyler, he's gonna give you his whole top 10. He's gonna explain what he feels like needs explained. Get into it.
All right, number 10.
Once again, this top 10 also is looking a little different.
Looking a lot
NBA
different.
is early in the season. These games don't matter much. It's volatile.
I'm gonna tell you something right now. This team, I don't really know a whole lot about this team. I know some players on the team, but I put them on the team. I put them on this list because they won't probably be on this list again, and that's the Sacramento Kings at 10. All right, and they are up there in the standings. What are they? Six in the West, 9 and 6, 7 in the West. They are up there, a place where nobody thought they would be. Nowhere, no one thought they'd be. De'Aaron Fox playing good, Bogdanovich playing okay. The team's just playing good, and so I thought we put them up there at 10 because the 10 spot, no one really cares about the 10 spot. So we're gonna put them at 10, and I like that a lot. And so number 9, I got the Atlanta Hawks. And so me and Jake were talking about this before we started. The Hawks really haven't beat anybody that they. I'd say I'm not gonna say they're supposed to be, but in tough games where people are healthy, they do not win. That's just the bottom line for right now. But they still got a little bit to gel. Murray's still new to the program there, and so I do like them at 9, but I like them as a whole going forward because I do have them to win the East at plus 2,000. And so anyway, I got the Pacers at 8. Team that was 6 and 6 has rung off 4 straight, I believe, and playing good. I mean, they're just playing simple ball. Miles Turner playing good. I can't even think of anybody else on the team. The rookie from Arizona, he's playing good.
Catherine,
Mathurin.
Halliburton,
Halliburton's playing good.
Buddy Hield,
Buddy Hield just lights out from anywhere. So
Nimbard.
yeah, they just got a
You
good
got
team.
some good young talent.
I like the kid from Arizona. I can't Mathurin.
Matherin.
Yeah, he's a good.
He, if Bancaro wasn't the best player on a horrendous Orlando Magic team, Matherin would be a shoe in for Rookie of the Year.
Yeah,
That kid's a stud. He
yeah,
might be sixth man of the year too.
yeah. He's
Him, Christian Wood, Brogdon, they're up there.
so good. Anyway, number 7, I got the Denver Nuggets. Um, Team's a little banged up a little bit. Aaron Gordon's out. Jokic's been out for a little bit. Murray's kind of been day to day. Porter, you never know with him. He might just break a leg out of nowhere. So I got the Nuggets. I think this team can go far. We've talked about it before, but just with injury and everything. So I just kind of, I think I had them higher on the list last time. I put them down a little lower just because of injury and stuff. They're going to be fine. They'll be up there. Probably a team that could win the championship. Number 6, I have the Sixers, excuse me. I have the Blazers. Um, just a team that, again, is without their best player and still winning ball games. Kind of slowed down from their pace earlier this year, but still winning ball games. Jeremy Grant and Nurkic and Simmons, and they're just playing good basketball, simple basketball with Dame out. When Dame comes back, looked like he was out today with some sort of strain. So I like them a lot. Again, a team that really I thought they'd be up there, but they're right up there in the mix of things in the West. Number 5, I got the Suns. I've been down on the Suns, but they keep winning basketball games, so I can't dog on for too long. So I got them at number 5. Again, I do not like this team at all. The only player that's any good to me is Devin Booker. Bridges is a good player when he gets hot, but he's got to get hot. And so I do like Booker, but Ayton, he's not going to do it for me. Cam Johnson's not going to do it for me. Bridges is not going to do it for me. Paul's got to get on that arthritis medicine so he can play.
Hey, I don't like Chris Paul one bit.
Yeah,
I think he's a little overrated. What's sad is that Aiton's overrated. How are you 6'10", that athletic? He should be dominating. He's so good.
yeah. I
And
mean, it's
he's soft.
Yeah, he's soft. It was probably the strippers at Arizona, but that made him soft a little bit. But um, anyway, I have the Utah Jazz at 4, and they're my top West team at 4. I'd say probably about 5 years ago, I wouldn't be saying that the West is weaker than the East, but it definitely is this year. In the East, I feel like is going to be a lot stronger a few years to come just with the young talent they have. But that's another conversation for another show. I do have the Utah Jazz, and Aaron's talked about it before for feels like hours, just about how none of them are stars, but they play good, simple basketball and they play really good, just team ball. All right. And that's programmed down there. Clarkson, Conley's hurt. That might be a um, little hit on them. He's going to be out a few weeks, but I do like this team. At number 3, I have the Cleveland Cavaliers. Um, I do like the Cavs. I had them higher on the list, obviously, but they did have a skid. They're kind of back where they're at 10-6 now, or I believe. So I believe that they can be up there as well. Number 2, I got the Milwaukee Bucks. Giannis is back. He was kind of hurt a little bit, and I don't know. We just gotta wait really for Chris Middleton to be back. They're winning games that they should win, and they're winning close games too. So Chris Middleton comes back, this team will be a contender, probably the contender for the NBA championship. I think with Chris Middleton back, there's probably nobody that can beat him. And so anyway, but number 1, the Celtics. They're playing good. They just got absolutely dominated by the Bulls right now, or just got over. But the Celtics, I mean, they're just playing. I feel like I just keep saying they're playing good ball, but they are playing great ball. And Jason Tatum, probably MVP front runner, or if he should be at least. And Jaylen Brown playing good ball. Brogdon, is he still hurt?
No, this is his first game back, and he put up like 20 something points.
Okay, so yeah, it's still riding that train there. Is Hauser still like one of the best 3-point shooters in the league still?
Yeah, percentage wise, he's up there.
And so, I mean, percentage wise, he's up there. Um, there's a few other guys I'm sure I'm missing, but they're just playing good. Grant Williams, Derek White. That's who I was going to think of. Grant Williams, just kind of that grinder role. He's been doing 3-and-D guy. He can hit a 3 every once in a while. I would consider him a 3-and-D guy, more D than 3. But anyway, but that was a good clip. Clip that, more D than 3. I think the Celtics is our number 1. No, I don't think anybody can really argue that.
Yeah, solid list there. I got mostly pretty similar stuff. Bottom half's a little different. I got the Clippers at 10. They're winning basketball games. They just are starting to get Kawhi back. I don't think we're gonna see the offensive threat that Kawhi used to be coming off these injuries, but him on the floor with Paul George and Zubac and Morris, that's just a good team. I mean, they're going to win a lot of basketball games. I think they're going to start winning a lot more with Kawhi back. If he can be any form of himself that he used to be, that's going to be a fun team to watch. 9, I got the Memphis Grizzlies, and 8, I got the Hawks. I mentioned them both because I think, like Tyler mentioned, I think these are both teams that have the talent to, but don't really win games that we want to see them win. And now the Grizzlies are kind of dealing with the injury bug. I think they might go on a little bit of a skid. But
I didn't have them.
7.
I didn't have them on my list, the Grizzlies, because of the injuries. I mean, I think they're going to be on the list while playing, but I just don't. I just didn't have them on the list. I just totally just discounted them off the list because they are kind of skidding right now, and that Jaw's going to be back.
Yeah, I mean, we can get into this afterwards too, but I think right now Jaw on paper is one of the most fun players to watch. But I'd really like to see him this year take it to the next level and be able to beat these really good teams when it matters. Because I mean, Desmond Bane's having a career year. Jaw's having another phenomenal year. They're getting Jaren Jackson Jr. back. Steven Adams doing his thing, getting 400 rebounds a game. They've got Dylan Brooks, Brandon Clark. I mean, they've got pieces this year. You mentioned it before. One of the most underrated players on that team is Tyus Jones when Jaw needs a break. So I think they're going to be good down the road, but right now they're on the injury bug. 7, got the Portland Trailblazers. Good scrappy team. They win basketball games. 6, I got the Nuggets. Like Tyler mentioned, I think they're a real contender in the West. They're having some growing pains this year just because they're all finally healthy, which is a good problem to have, I guess. Number 5, I got the Suns. We've talked enough about the Suns. 4, Cavs. 3, I got the Bucks. I got the Jazz at 2. I've been fading the Jazz a little too long. I don't know if they're ever going to be this high, but we've said that every week, and they haven't fallen off yet. So I'm going to give them the 2 spot. Number 1, I got my Boston Celtics. Like Tyler mentioned, we'd be tickled to death. Tyler grew up a Bulls fan. I grew up a Celtics fan. We'd be tickled to death if you would have told us 5, 10 years ago how good the East was now. I mean, we've been waiting for this our whole lives. I mean, the Bulls are better than probably 10 or 11 teams in the West, and they're in 10th in the East.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy. So it's fun to see a lot of talent in the East now. Kind of good or bad, I guess. It kind of sucks because it's going to make it hard for either of our teams to get out of the East because there's so much good teams.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think that the East is so tough. I don't even know if the Bulls make the playoffs. That's the thing about it. And they're a good team, I feel like, obviously. And I don't even know if they'll make the playoffs. I mean, I think the at worst they'll make the play-in tournament, but like with Ball coming back and and just getting that, I think one thing the Bulls need to take advantage of, and we're kind of getting X's and O's here. We need to play with a lot more pace. We need to, man. And I think with all the guards
I'll tell you the other thing too is that
I know Vooch is going to suffer for it, but I think winning ball games, I really don't care about Vooch getting his numbers down.
Yeah. One other thing is, I hate saying this because I like him, but Zach LaVine's flat out sucked. He was 5 for 10 from 3 tonight, and they beat the best team in the league. Like when he plays good, DeRozan's going to be so consistent. Vooch is a phenomenal center. You can make an argument Vooch is a top 5 center in the league. He's good. He can shoot the 3 ball. He can rebound. He can play in the post.
He has like
solid defender.
He's like the most rebounds in the league right now.
Yeah, and you got a great backup off the bench in Andre Drummond. I mean, they've got depth and Patrick Williams is a great defender. They've got the pieces, and once Ball comes back, you've got AO off the bench, and that's a great backup point guard.
And I think
they've got
wide.
Yeah,
I mean, he's
Eric Jones Jr. Dragic's a great shooter off the bench when you need. He's the Sam Hauser of the Bulls. He's better than Hauser, but
we have depth, but we've got to play. Our starters have got to play better. Obviously, DeRozan doing their due diligence, but like Patrick Williams, like at this point, like I know you drafted really high, and it was probably a bad draft pick. At this point, he has to develop into a good player. And so you mentioned that he's great at defense, and he's an elite defender, but he needs to. We talk about 3-and-D guys. He needs to become a 3-and-D guy because he's so long. And
he shot the 3 ball a little better tonight.
Okay.
Hopefully he gets into a groove.
So he needs to be a 3-and-D guy because he can defend anybody on the floor. I would say he's a very good defender, and he's quick, and he's long and athletic. And so I like Patrick Williams, probably a little bit too high of a draft pick, obviously, but we got what we got now.
Old Tyler's got a great mind for sports, so I'm gonna hit you with this question. If you're Steve Kerr, you're the Warriors management, and you've got, if you look at the analytics and you look at the eye test, they've got one of the most dominant starting 5s. And I don't even think it's close. I think they have the worst second unit. They're up there with the Rockets and the Magic second unit. The Pistons. I mean, it's horrible. Like, what are you looking to do? Like, are there any pieces that you see? Like, they need something because, I mean, Jordan Poole is a coin flip if he's going to be the best 6 man or the worst 6 man.
Yeah, but Jordan Poole is always – I mean, he's obviously only been in the league for a few years, but at this point, like, he plays great with Curry and Clay and all them.
Yeah.
But the second unit, he has to drive that second unit, and he cannot do that. And so you need a guy that can drive a second unit, whoever that.
Which, to be fair to him, the second unit has nobody that can score.
Right. It's only him.
James Wiseman was their best scorer besides Poole, and they sent him down because his defense is so bad.
Right. I mean, you need somebody like, and I hate to be this way, but like you need somebody like Brogdon or like somebody that can run that
Yeah.
2 unit. Poole just he can just take and pop and play. Doesn't really need the ball a whole lot, but and so I think you just need a guy. I wouldn't mind, and I'll be honest with you, maybe filtering those starters down with that second group. I wouldn't mind that at all. I don't know if you're
Yeah.
wanting to get anybody at the trade deadline just now yet, but I wouldn't be surprised if they did. But I would say that maybe like if you want to have somebody that can score and and play defense and keep the game close, why don't you put Clay down there? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Why not just put
Especially Clay's starting to heat up. He's been shooting the ball a lot better.
why not put
Just
Clay
spreading
down?
those guys
Why
out.
not put Green's getting paid an absurd amount of money to just play defense. Why not just leave him in the game? Like I'm not
Yeah.
understanding because like Green, and I might get a lot of heat for this, but Green is not a great basketball player. He's great for that system. He's great for
No.
that team. If he was on any other team, he'd be on the G League. Like I'll just be honest about it. And so
Yeah, he's not good.
and so why not eat up those minutes with him? Because why like today, why are you sitting him out today? Like, other than that Curry and Clay are out, why are you sitting him out? Because this is a guy
Yeah,
that
he's averaging 7.9 points on over 30 minutes a game this year.
right. And so why put him with a second unit to be that grinder and bulldog type role for that second unit? Why are you
Yeah.
putting who are they putting in? Looney or Kaminga or somebody? I don't even know.
I
They're
mean, they've got Jordan Poole, Jonathan Kaminga, Anthony Lamb, Dante DiVincenzo, JaMychal Green. I mean, you hear that and you're like, how do they even expect to win games with that? Like, that's horrible. They've got
they're all really
Jordan Poole is
young
the
too.
only guy that can score the basketball. Yeah, they're young. I mean, man, they are just not it. And
I wouldn't mind just doing a thing with Clay. But if you I don't even know like who would you get? Like who would be available that you get cheap that would be like kind of a underwhelming
yeah,
player right now. Like and
yeah,
because you're not wanting to spend a whole lot because Curry and Clay and all them are at the end of the line here. And so you're not wanting to spend too many draft picks. And so what are you getting for a player that's cheap? Like, I mean, at this point, like, are the Nets willing to give up Ben Simmons?
I think they might be, but that's for what he's bringing to the table. He's expensive.
He's expensive, but they're already in the luxury tax.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I
Like,
don't know.
get the guy,
They got
get
some
that
problems
guy,
to figure out.
get that guy to run the point and just let Poole eat, baby.
Yeah,
Let somebody eat because he's not. I mean, Curry's going to be obviously the starter, but I mean, I'm just trying to think of guys that are like I couldn't think of and I was thinking players on the Bulls like Dragic, maybe, but like he's old and he really probably wouldn't fit the system at all. He kind of needs the ball a little bit, so it's like I
yeah. But they need to get like a guy like Sam Hauser or a younger version of Dragic just to shoot
they need like
and
just a
take some pressure off Poole. And they need a big in their second unit that's good. They they have. I mean, Kevon Looney is not bad for what they need, and they don't need a big. They definitely don't need a big that needs the ball a lot. But, I mean, get somebody that's going to get some more freaking rebounds. I mean, I don't know why. I don't know. I mean, like you've got two of the best shooters in the league, and Andrew Wiggins is a great playmaker. Like offensive rebounds on that team are huge. But I don't know. They've got some they got some work to do. All right. Next segment we're gonna get into is we don't have a full crew on, so we're not gonna move on to our top five small forwards yet, but we're gonna give you our right now, we're about a month and a half into the season, and we're gonna give you our top three players at each position. We're gonna start off. We're gonna start off with the point guard. I'll start us off here. Number one, I got Luka. He's putting up just some video game numbers. Video game numbers. He's on an okay Mavericks team. I think they'll make the playoffs. I don't think they're going to be contenders this year. Number 2, I got Curry. This team might be 0-15 if Steph Curry was not on this team. I mean, he is putting up just another great year on a struggling Warriors team. Number 3, this one's for you, Aaron. I got Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. I hated leaving Ja out, but I had to do it. SGA is having himself a year. He's going to be a guy that's not going to be in the MVP conversation because the Thunder are very, very mediocre. But man, he's fun to watch.
Top 3, I got a little different. I got Curry number 1. I just think he's been playing just lights. I understand Luka's been playing lights out, but Curry to me, man, when he's playing at his best, he's the best player in the world. And I know Giannis guys would be after me about that, but when Curry is playing at his best, he is the best player in the world, and nobody can tell me different. Giannis can't go to the logo and shoot, man, and just Drano. Curry can score from all.
Tell you what,
Go ahead.
my favorite part about Curry is that he is relatively underwhelming physically. Like, he's not a big guy. He's definitely not the most athletic. Can't jump the fastest or can't jump the highest. He's not the fastest. He can score on anybody. He is freaking good.
He can score. He can score from anywhere on the floor, and that's where and that's where I got Luka at number 2. Luka is a good player, and he plays a little different style of basketball, but I just don't see him scoring from anywhere on the floor. I get that he hits the 3 ball okay, mid range is good, but I just do not see when I rank this, when I say at their best, who is better? I think Curry's better at their best, and that's why I got Luka at 2, and then I was going to put Morant, but you said SGA, and I put SGA because he has been on a tear this year.
Yeah.
And obviously, by far the best player on the Oklahoma City Thunder. And so I have SGA at number 3 as well.
All right, real quick before we move on to the shooting guard, got a question for you. We're going to play a little theoretical game here. If Steph Curry keeps continuing on the trajectory he's going, and let's say he wins one more ring in his career, so he's going to finish with 5 rings, is he in the top 5 all-time conversation?
Yeah. I think he's top 5 for sure.
I think he's that good. I agree. I 100% agree. I think that might be a hot take.
Top 5 right now?
He'd be close right now. He's for sure going to be top 10. I mean, he's the best shooter of all time.
People talk about he's the best shooter of all time. He's this, he's that. He's got 5 rings, or he's got 4 rings right now. Could be 5 rings, could be 6 rings. But we don't talk about how influential he was to changing the game of basketball.
Yeah.
When he got in the league and started scoring from everywhere, it goes, okay, we're worried about these bigs, or we're worried about these 4 or 5. We're worried about this 3 and 4 guy hitting us with mid range. We got to worry about this guy that when he comes across half court, he can shoot that crap in my face and make it.
Yeah.
And so he absolutely changed the game of basketball so much that I think that has to be into consideration, because nobody wants to be a big guy anymore. They want to be like Curry and start hitting it from the freaking logo. And so,
yeah. And I mean, if you look at the analytics of it now, like, if you're a coach, you're almost getting mad at your players if they're shooting a 15 or 16 foot mid range. Like, shoot a 3. Your percentages aren't going to be that much worse, and you get the extra point.
Oh, I agree.
I mean, unless you're DeMar DeRozan or somebody.
I agree.
Like, just shoot a 3, you know? Like, look at the Celtics. They're firing up the most threes in the league, and they're winning games.
Right.
All right. Number 1, shooting guard, I got Donovan Mitchell. I think the Cavs are just solid, and he's been phenomenal since he's came in the league. Number 2, I got Devin Booker. Kind of like Curry, I think this Suns team would be – I mean, they need him bad. They need him real bad. Bridges is playing okay. Ayton's hit or miss. Chris Paul is a good point guard, but he's not going to score very much. And I think Booker, he's one of the best pure scorers in the league. Number 3, I got my guy Jaylen Brown. The only thing that scares me about Jaylen Brown is I think he's gone from the Celtics if they win a title. I think he's chasing that money. But
you blame him?
He's fun to watch. No, I don't. I wish he would stay. have a little dynasty action, but he's going to chase the money.
No, yeah, I mean, I got Booker at number one. All the reason you said, I think they have to have Booker to win. I think the Suns aren't very good if they don't have him. And I got Brown at number two. And here's why. I mean, I've said this before. Jaylen Brown is the number one option on most teams other than the Celtics. If you don't have Jason Tatum on your team, he's the number one option. He can score from anywhere. He can do everything that you ask him to do. He's becoming a little bit better defender. And so his three ball has been great this year, probably the best it's ever been. And so anyway, then I have Donovan Mitchell at three. Athletic, but I just think that I don't know. I think that Booker and Brown. I think the Cavs would be good without Mitchell. I don't know if they'd be as good as they are, but the Suns can't really do it without Mitchell. And Brown is just that good of a player in my eyes that I think he's better than Mitchell.
Yeah. Thing about Jaylen Brown too, I think he offers a little bit more consistency than Jason Tatum. I mean, Jason Tatum I give him the slight nod as a better player, but like the Celtics games I've watched this year, I've watched a lot of them. Tatum will go on, like, he might score 3 points in a quarter, he might score 15 the next quarter.
Right.
I mean, Jaylen Brown's just a little bit more consistent, which I think helps Tatum out a lot too. But all right, small forward number one, I got Jason Tatum, like we talked about. I think he's got to be the front runner for MVP on such a good team right now. Number two, I got KD. He's just first ballot Hall of Famer. He's incredible. Enough said there. Number three, I got Paul George. Shout out to Paul George. I mean, I was fading the Clippers team without Kawhi Leonard. He kept them relevant. So he gets the three spot for me.
Yeah, so I didn't have KD at the three, I had him at the four, but I mean, to each their own. It's positionless game pretty much. So
yeah.
Anyway, but I got Tatum at one as well. Anyway, but I mean, all the reasons you said, MVP candidate, everything else. I got Paul George number two, like you said about the Clippers with the Kawhi being out. I thought maybe they might take a slide, but he kept him relevant. Morris kept him relevant. Kawhi's starting to get back a little bit now. He's starting to play a little bit more, and we're seeing him starting to get a little bit of rhythm. I mean, I think he scored 11 or 12 last game with about 20 minutes worth of play, so not bad. Anyway, but number three, I got LeBron James. We're talking about a guy that still is a very, very, very good player at however old he is. I mean, and so I'd still say a top 10 player in the league, maybe higher than that. And he is very, very good. And I think it's good. I hate to say it's good for him because he's been in the spotlight, obviously his whole life. But he's obviously kind of been under the radar since the Lakers haven't been as good at the start of this. But I think once they start picking up steam, I will. They'll get a little bit more recognition.
Shout out to LeBron too for adapting the way he plays the game. If you look at great players, I mean, Kobe did it at the end of his career. The game that LeBron used to play is not sustainable for 38, 37, however old he is. So he did a great job if he's shooting the ball a little bit more, being a little bit more facilitator. He's still scoring a ton, but I mean, he's just had to adapt his game and change his play style, keep up with the times and keep his body fresh. And also, like you said, I mean, I put KD with the three just because I think his play style parallels those guys a little bit more, but he is the four on that team. So,
yeah.
All right, power forward number one, I got Anthony Davis. He's putting up some numbers this year. I don't think long term he's going to be as good as Giannis, who I've got at two. Right now, I gave it to AD. And three, I got Siakam.
Woo. All right. So I have Giannis at one at the four position, and then two, I have Durant. Both obviously great scorers, great basketball players. At any time, they could be number one in the world. At any time, they could be MVP candidates. I think this third player can be the exact same thing, but he also plays on a crap team. That's Anthony Davis. Um, Anthony Davis at number 3. He's kind of came along though these last few games. 30 points, 15 rebounds in the last 3 or 4 games. So he's coming along. They're playing a little bit different. The Lakers are. Wouldn't mind the Lakers. They're going to go on a little run here, and I think Anthony Davis is going to be a big part of it.
Yeah, completely agree. I think the Lakers are starting to trend up a little bit. Let's go to the big guys. I got Joel Embiid at number 1. I got the Joker at number 2. And this is kind of a hot take, but I got Bam Adebayo at number 3. He's starting to score the ball a little better, and I mean he's just a phenomenal defender. And Jimmy Butler's on the decline of his career, and so Bam Adebayo's got to step up. Tyler Hero's got to step up if this team's going to make playoffs.
Yeah. I got Embiid at 1. And who'd you have at 2?
Joker.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I have at 1 and 2. I have my center, Nikola Vucevic, baby, at number 3. I think he has every stat to be number 3. Rebounds. The points average is a little low for what he usually is, probably about 15, 16 points per game. But you're right. He can't stretch this floor. He can knock down a 3 right in your freaking face and not even care. But he grabs them boards, baby. And I think that's why he's in the game so much. When there are players that can play with a lot higher pace, I think that's why he's in the game, so he can rebound that ball, especially against a smaller team. He's in the game a lot. And so, but yeah, I really like Vooch at this number 3 spot.
Yeah. Vooch is legit. Great ball player. That's all we got for the NBA, guys.
Guys, we are on Chalkboard app. You can follow our picks. I've been trying to put in the NBA picks. Didn't put them in today, but I've been trying to put in the NBA picks. NBA is probably my best sport that I bet this year. And last year I could not say that. I think I bet NBA for like 1 week. I lost so much money I quit betting the rest of the year. All right. But this year we're on. I'll be honest, I wouldn't follow my NFL picks and I wouldn't follow my college football picks. But NBA I'm on, and the World Cup I'm on. USA is going to win the whole thing. All right. And so anyway, anything else on the NBA or basketball?
Nope.
All right.
Check out the chalkboard.
Yeah, check out the chalkboard.
Check out the socials. Fat Stacks on Instagram. Fat Stacks on Twitter.
Yep. Fat Stacks, baby. All right, guys. You know what I always say. Justin Fields is the answer. He is the answer, even if he has a dislocated shoulder.
Nikola Vucevic is the answer for the basketball edition.
Ayo Dosunmu is the answer. Kobe White.
Jordan Goodwin. Answer.
Jordan Goodwin. South 7 represent. Jordan Goodwin, get on the show. I'm going to message you. Get on the show. All right, guys. We'll see you guys later. Always bet responsibly.